Hello. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking with that intro, I'm gonna be honest. It's been a while since I uploaded a video on this channel. Yeah, it's been exactly... Wow. And I'm gonna be honest, no long intros, no long BS. I'm just gonna get straight into it. What is the deal with the cat? We are first introduced to the cat in chapter 123, where Nene is seen trying to get the watch to turn back time, obviously, and then it just explodes. And then we get introduced to this on screen. In my comments, arguing back and forth whether this is a main or Tsukasa. I'll go further in depth with that later. But first, I just want to mention one thing. Just one tiny thing that totally, absolutely won't like change the manga in any way, shape, or form. Who is known for having their eyes exactly drawn like this? Hold on to that thought. Later, as they're continuing to walk through the winter wonderland, I guess you could say, I don't know. Later throughout the chapter, as they continue walking along, the cat says, "I was originally human before the clock keepers turned me into this." The moment that Nene starts saying anything back to the cat, he just quickly brushes it aside and moves on like nothing happened. Remember that. It's all gonna make sense later. We go back and forth for a little bit. We see a creepy human corpse. When Nene finally explains to the main clock keeper that, you know, things are in this world, can we turn them back? He says, ergo, the world is correct as it is. And then he continues to yap about the sand for a little bit until we start putting two and two together and we realize he's not telling the tale of a man who once was just a clockmaker who had the skill to do all of this. This is him. And then it all adds up. You might be wondering, well, Mokke, you could just be rambling about nothing. You got no evidence to back this. Guys, look at his niece. This clockkeeper had a niece, the daughter of his younger brother who had died with his wife in an accident. He adopted the girl, but not out of kindness of his heart. We continue to learn more and more about what happened, but as time passed, the young girl captured his heart. And this is where the most important part in this entire story begins. Basically, to sum up what happened, he tried to use the sand clock to bring back her dead parents. Failed. He kept trying to repeat it over and 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 over again, until next thing you know, the girl was gone. He had erased the fact that she was ever born, that she was ever made, whoever she was, never happened. In a sense, you could say Mirai is essentially a robot. The reason she broke and was able to come back because he fixed her is because she's not real. She wasn't a human before this. She's not like a Kane. She's completely different. He is her creation. This is him telling the story of how he the one girl that was close to him, destroyed her and erased her from time, forever sealed away the clock, and then ended up turning himself into a machine to harness this power of time, and then ended up creating Mirai. Argue with me in the comments or put whatever you want to put. This is just me speculation. Please don't kill me too hard in the comments. I already know I'm mispronouncing their names enough. And then at the end of this chapter, we see one of the coolest scenes in the whole manga. We see him go toe to toe with Nene. And honestly, she's got balls to do this despite the fact that she's a girl. Jokes aside, this is cool. I know all my Nene lovers are eating good right now. And my fellow Hanako lovers as myself, we're just not existing right now because this hasn't showed up in chapters. We see Kitty interfere with what Clockkeeper was about to do before Nene is sucked up into the hourglass. And then Clockkeeper says something that we've been all thinking since the beginning of the manga. My word, that girl truly is a handful. I don't know why I put like a weird accent on. I thought it was cool. Guys, please spam in the comments. I did a really good job. Maybe I'll start voice acting. Then we see Nene is inside of the hourglass. She basically goes back in time in loop. It just keeps going back and forth until we see this really cool scene where it shows that instead of Ko and Mitsuba, I cannot pronounce names. Instead of Ko and M going in there into the school that one night they were gonna go searching before they ended up dying, we see Nene ends up being the sacrifice, which I just think is really weird. And also, just like I said, put some shoes on, bro. And then we later find out that Nene in this alternate reality, which I think is sick, is probably the one that led them all here, and she killed them. I'm blown away. Now this on its own is really cool because we get to see an alternate ending where Nene ends up killing every single one of her friends. Good lord, Adora, what were we doing in that room? How did you even conjure up this? How did you? Never mind that. Ko would have actually been alive in this alternate reality fighting Nene. Except we all know they probably wouldn't have been able to kill her until we get to see my glorious king, bro. Hanako returns out of the well. Like, this ending is just horrible until we get snapped back into the past one more time and Nene is just traumatized. I feel so horrible for these kids. We finally learned that the change that was made was on Hanako's 4th birthday, and we also learned that Aoi did not make it out of the house. And now we have Akane and Nene ready to go in and do this once and for all to finally fix everything as it is. I wouldn't have said this before, but I was really underestimating you, and that's just true. She's really written off as this other character that never does much, and it's always Hanako coming in to save her. But you know, here she finally picked up her own weight, like God. And we get this cute little moment where Nene admits that she really wants to see Hanako again. Editing Mokke here, I just wanted to point out that I forgot to say how at the end of the chapter it shows that Nene lands on top of Hanako and has this really like awkward, well, funny, I guess you could say, funny moment. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm just gonna throw this out there because I had this thought while editing this. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like right after Hanako ran away from the school from the last time he saw Nene. If you want more information on what I'm talking about, go watch my second TBHK video. Probably wondering, okay, Mokke, okay, you sat here for a good minute, you yap. Now, a few things I want to mention before we get to the most important thing, the cat. I want to go over a few of the comments that from the last video most interested me. And this one kind of has something to do with the cat, is that the cat is Tsukasa and the Tsukasa of this world is just a shell of him. Okay, so my good friend CC here pointed out something that I've been meaning to mention for a good few videos now, but I'm only now getting into it. I've had this theory for a while, but I'm not sure I'm onto something. Basically, remember when Nene got sent to the past and met young man and gave herself wishing slips and told him the rumor that whatever he wishes for, all of the wishing slips, whatever he wishes for on all of the wishing slips, but instead of wishing to become an astronaut, he wishes to see Nene again. Did he or did he not up his own past? Yes. And since one of the main themes of the story is unpredictable nature of wishes and the power of rumors, the same rumors that can completely change the supernatural at its core, I believe that the entire story was caused by Hanako's impossible wish to see Nene again, and the alternate timeline is what happens if Nene does not interfere with the past and never gave her wishing slips to Main. If this is true, this would confirm how Hanako changed the future to Shigemori saw for him by dying and hence fulfilling his wish and seeing Nene again. I don't know if this makes any sense though. Feel free to point out flaws in my theory. Love your vids, by the way. I appreciate the support. Also, I should really become a rapper with my breath work. Now, my good friend in the comment of this comment, I'm like really going deep into this now. Sophia says, think of it like which came first, the chicken or the egg? Question, it's a paradox, like a loop. It was because of Nene that Amain became Hanako after getting the slip and making his wish to see her again. However, Nene would never have been able to give him the slip if Hanako had never existed in the first place. So it creeps a loop. Another comment that I like to relate to here, I'll die of 2BHK. It's like, dear my loving God. Idolro, as in not an L, Another thing someone else points out here is that I'm just not pronouncing anything right. I know. Do you want to see me struggle? Do you want to see me struggle? Let me read this. So it's more like Iro when I catch you, Iro. I guess I'll just go with Iro. Because Iro. Yeah, we'll go with Iro. Someone else tries to take my manga box. Hello? And that is all the comments I wanted to go over, at least for now. Everybody else that was showing support and love, I appreciate every single one of y'all, and I love all of y'all in Mokke Army. However, one of the main ideas at play here that I was thinking about when making this video initially was how I really thought Nene was gonna end up having to make a deal with one of the clock keepers if she wanted things to go back to normal, and we can still see that at play, because remember, she's gonna end up having to stop them in this next chapter from, well, you know, disrupting the timeline and turning one of them into a cat. I'm getting there. I know, I'm getting there. I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Hold on. Comment down below. What do you think she'll have to give up in order for, you know, things to go back to normal? I don't know, maybe like a toy, a dog, or her soul. She's supposed to die. I don't know. Who said that? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me get back to the most important part of this entire video. El gato. You're all probably wondering by now, who is this cat? Why is Mokke just not saying it? Is he doing this for watch time? I kinda am. No, I'm just kidding. I would never use y'all like that. Now, multiple theories have been thrown out here and there about the cat and what purpose he serves. Who is he? And I've already said this before, and I'm gonna say it again for those in the back that are struggling to hear me. We are in the final countdown. We are less than a month away from the next chapter. All cards are on the table. What you think could be what happens in the next chapter. All cards are on the table. Anything is at play here. Iroh has been known for doing this, and that. I mean, look at what he's done in the most recent chapter where he made Nene kill everybody. Like, it's ridiculous, man. We are in the end game, but this time seriously. This could be it. And I swear, the main reason I've been on hiatus is because I was so frustrated that Iroh kept doing these little cliffhangers where he would do a chapter, it would not be showing us enough, or it would not be giving enough content for me to do a video about it, or just anything in general, right? I would just wait till the next chapter and then it'd be the same thing on repeat. He keeps doing this. I'm fed up. My main thing is this, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone seems to be doing this back and forth on whether this cat is a main, whether this cat is Tsukasa, Mane, my fault. Whether this cat is a Mane or whether it's his brother. The main thing I'm not seeing anyone say, and the main thing I'm just gonna throw out there, and I don't want everyone to murder me for it. What if it's both of them? Can we not see the parallels where Nene has asked Hanako about anything about his past, anything about anything? He brushed it off and he says, I'll tell you about it another time. But if we also take a look at his eyes, we can tell that this is none other than my glorious king Tsukasa. Maybe the Claw Keepers looked at both of them and realized, these two are both a handful. What if we just turn them both into a cat together? But at the same time, this doesn't answer my biggest concerns. If these guys are both a cat now, the soul of them is fused into a cat, how are we seeing Hanako still out and living? And supposedly he lived as an adult, and also his brother died as a kid still. What are we looking at here? Are we looking at a situation where the entity may have taken part of their soul, part of their being, and fused into one, creating this mess? It would explain why Hanako in this world has part of his old memories of living a life as an adult, but not actually living it, because he was a killer, a murderer as an entity. And it would explain why only part of Tsukaka's memories are there, and he's only a child still. He was still turned into a cat, but the entity managed to take some of their memories, infuse it into this abomination, I guess. Editing Mokke here, I just wanted to make sure I could correct myself real quick. I meant to say that the entity took their bodies and it's basically using them lifelessly, and inside their bodies there's still a piece of their soul that I guess you could say he's kind of using to torment them, which kind of loops back around to the title of this video, Soulless. It's just a fragment, and that their real souls are still in the cat. That I'm just throwing it out there. It's like my most far-fetched idea of what this could be. It's probably something simpler. It's probably that this is just either one of them, as said before in the comments, but we can't always go for the easy routes here. Iroh has proved time and time again it's something else. This is me throwing it out there that it could be that. It also could not be that. I have no idea. And remember the comment I mentioned earlier where he said this could be the body of him, but not the soul of Tsukasa. Are we looking at that right now? Are we looking at the souls have been fused into this cat and their bodies are off wandering, controlled by the entity? If I'm right, listen guys, I've been right about almost a good chunk of this. If I'm right about this, I don't even know. That is my theory on what I think. I don't know. We're gonna find out in a few weeks from now, and I'll see you then. I'll have a video out hopefully a week after the chapter, so make sure you are subscribed and turn on notifications. I'm gonna be putting out TBHK videos every month for, the new chapters. Comment of today's video. I appreciate the support. I love every single one of y'all, and as always, later Mokke Army.